At the point when a gathering of locals in North America moved toward established researchers with claims that were in opposition to their expert agreement, scientists rushed to excuse them. These researchers before long educated, in any case, that all that they assumed they had some awareness of a specific section of history was a finished falsehood. Archaeologists uncover inconceivable proof that opens last piece of the past. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It only takes a second, and you won't miss any of our future videos. The principal country native to English Columbia's incredible bare rainforest, the hailed debilitated individuals have made a case for the distant Tricket Island for almost 5,000 years. Yet archaeologists have excused their case of possession for one glaring explanation. The mainland glacial mass that framed over Canada during the last ice age would have additionally covered Tricket Island, making it appalling. Yet even with the reality stacked against a high return debilitated, a little gathering of specialists willingly volunteered to uncover reality unequivocally. The archaeologists started a broad uncovering of the distant island in the desire for finding hints of a past human progress. What they tracked down there stunned the whole archaeological local area. Yet it additionally changed history for eternity. Underneath a few layers of earth, they tracked down leftovers of an old wood-consuming hearth. Yet how is it that this could be as indicated by analysts? It would have been unimaginable for people to dig their direction through the frigid ice to get to the dirt underneath. As they keep digging, scientists unearth customary antiques, including apparatuses and weapons. This disclosure baffled the group as the featured debilitated individuals customarily did use instruments of this sort. The high return wiped out individuals had gotten their food source from fishing and smoking salmon, using little exact devices to collect the fish. The instruments and weapons found were a lot bigger and probable would have been utilized to chase huge ocean warm-blooded creatures like seals, ocean lions, and walruses. What's more, the group additionally revealed shards of obsidian, a glass-like stone just tracked down in areas of weighty volcanic movement. This revelation likewise confounded the archaeologists, as there were no known volcanoes close to that piece of English Columbia. So how did this stone and these individuals arrive? The history specialists derived that whoever left these antiques should have crossed the land span that existed among Siberia and Gold Country during ancient times. However, specialists actually required cruel realities. Fortunately, a nearer review of the hearth uncovered old charcoal remaining parts, which the archaeologists immediately brought to the lab for scientifically measuring. At the point when they got the outcomes, the analysts couldn't trust their eyes. All that they knew was completely false. As per the scientifically measuring report, these pieces of charcoal were a shocking 14,000 years of age, making them the most seasoned carbon remains ever to be found in North America. Indeed, even by worldwide norms. This was a phenomenal find. All things considered, these basic bits of charcoal were more seasoned than the incomparable Pyramid of Giza and, surprisingly, originated before the innovation of the wheel. Yet that is not the most striking reality about this revelation. The 14,000-year-old disclosure put the earliest kid debilitated a knick-knack island 2,000 years before the finish of the Ice Age. So as the ocean slowly disintegrated the encompassing islands, the incredible monsters of the Pacific Northwest were kept under control, passing on the Hiltzik to a quiet, disconnected presence. The most dumbfounding acknowledgement that has become known is the way that the hailed wiped-out individuals had the option to safeguard their set of experiences orally for almost 14,000 years. Nonetheless, they are as yet being denied of their account's authenticity. At the point when the media found out about the story, they appear to zero in additional on how the disclosure affected established researchers. Instead of recognize the rich history of the Hiltzik to many, the media's depiction of the country was viewed as exceptionally insolent. Subsequently, College of Victoria understudies Alicia Golfline, who was available during the uncovering, has devoted herself to moving the focal point of the exchange toward the Hiltzik public. The features that case to deceive it line remains as one of the most established land proprietorship claims on the planet. The reality of the situation will come out eventually, the way in which this conflict develops after some time. Yet it's really not the weirdest land debate that Canada has confronted. One includes not a clan conflicting with a public authority, but rather a solitary man. Chances are you've never known about Matchia as Seal Island, sitting between the Bay of Maine in the US and Canada's Cove of Fundy. This little body of land has been the subject of a major debate. Both the US and Canada have guaranteed it as their own, yet a nearby angler named Barna Norton took that discussion to another level when he has of late moved toward the courts with a stunning case outbuilding his association with Match's Seal Island began in 1940, at the point when he was only 25. Heading out from his old neighborhood of Jonesport, Maine, he went through 20 miles of water to arrive at the rough island. This was the beginning of incalculable excursions, starting with one shore, then on to the next. Yet he would never have anticipated how much Match's Seal Island would intend to him. That late spring, Barnett welcomed his father and a couple of travelers to go along with him for some bird watching and picnicking on Match's Seal Island. Puffins, razorbills, Meoras and cold goes rush to the little spot to rest, and Dest making it an ideal draw for energetic birdwatchers. That late spring cruising undertaking was the first of numerous that Barnett held for a very long time, had routinely take heaps of guests and local people to visit and cook out on the island. What's more, during those various journeys, had become very inclined toward the area. Barna is the only one inspired by Match's Seal Island, both the US and Canada state cases to it. Canada even fabricated a beacon there to give more belief to its proprietorship. America's proof for possession, notwithstanding, traces all the way back to the 1700s. It's an interesting, tricky subject between the two partners. Norton is very much aware of the island's history when the Arrangement of Paris was endorsed in 1783. The record conceded the U.S. all islands inside 20 classes of any piece of the shores of the U.S. other than the ones that Nova Scotia had proactively asserted. However, it isn't that straightforward. The America is the only one with recorded evidence of proprietorship. Canada has a land award from 1621 that says all islands inside 6 classes of any piece of Nova Scotia has coast. Match's Seal Island falls inside that reach, being only 3 leagues from the fantastic Manin coast. Notwithstanding, the two legislatures were dismayed that one more, a lot more modest party made a case. Barna himself said he possessed the island as per Holly Davis. She was the accomplice of John Norton's outbuilding his child and brought forth Animal Dwelling Place, his main grandkid. However, the others have worn out on battling about the island. Holly has energetically shared the story behind Horse Shelter's claims. Barna had a popular progenitor notable in the space named Tall Barney. He was known for being the Goliath lobsterman by the other Jonesport presidents. There are a lot of unbelievable stories about this almost awesome individual, yet Barndo frequently told quite possibly of the main story. At the point when the public authority was drafting troopers for the nationwide conflict, Tall Barney cared very little about taking an interest. He was his cuddler, Holly said. He thought hanging out on the ocean was his most effective way to try not to do battle. At last, he arrived on Match's Seal Island. Tall Barney's Quaker convictions were to some degree why he didn't need to battle. However, he was reluctant to safeguard himself. At the point when Canadians attacked his island asylum, he genuinely lost some of them. The Island Verifiable Society president Bill Plaskin said that occurrence encouraged him to pull off a phenomenal case. When the island was saved from intruders, Tall Barney made a declaration. The lobster monitors initially Malayer would have land privileges to match his Seal Island. That individual turned out to be Barna, who was conceived June 9, 1815. Yet how might such proprietorship be genuine? Well, when Barna sent a letter to the public authority about Tall Barney's story, they informed him that Match's Seal Island is essential for the U.S. and let him know you reserve each privilege to overlook any guidelines that Canada claims to set. Normally, not every person was excited with the American understanding. Barnett put this letter in a plastic cover for supervision and conveyed it with him until his demise. Indeed, Even Still Outbuilding has had a few struggles with the Canadian government about the island. In June 1984, a Canadian helicopter arrived there in one of Barna's aviary visits. The two mounted police and a Canadian Natural Life Administration official who landed gave Barna an admonition. They were there to authorize the laws of Canada against all possible guests, including Americans, the related press revealed. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more great content.